In 1961, Jane Jacobs wrote her revolutionary book, The Death and Life of Great American Cities, laying out ways to build new infrastructure for beauty, enjoyment, and strong communities rather than efficiency. Jacobs proposed that parks must be mentally stimulating in addition to peaceful and tidy. Parks need robust, regular usage to create and strengthen a sense of community. Resources must be invested to draw people to the park and continually reinvested for its upkeep. In this video, we'll take a look at the future of stormwater ponds in East Tampa. We'll touch on the current state of the ponds and then move on to what you, the Jazzy seniors and other community members, want to see change around these spaces. We'll present suggestions given by the community on how to go about these changes and improvements. And lastly, we'll highlight what people currently enjoy about the parks and ponds. This spring, our team researched 5 East Tampa stormwater ponds. 3 of these have been partially or fully redeveloped, and 2 have not been at all. The ponds that have been redeveloped as parks are fairly popular among the community, particularly for walking, socializing, and enjoying nature. Other popular parks in the area are often used by the community members to host events, which could be a model for the 5 ponds that were a part of this project. Miss Ruby captured the value of these spaces in her interview.
I just had my older sister threw a party at Lowry Park last March. It was really nice and convenient for the amount of people.
One of the ponds that has not been redeveloped, the 22nd Street Pond, draws a surprising number of people despite its unrenovated status. It's the site of a community garden project and a food booth, Off the Chain Peanuts, sets up there on Saturdays and Sundays, drawing people from around the community to buy delicious Southern soul food. When community members were asked about what amenities they would like to see in the ponds already redeveloped into parks, many said bathrooms. Currently, none of the parks have public restrooms. Interviewees at the ponds, which have not been redeveloped, mentioned a need for walkways or paths.
Why not a walk around?
A common request among Jazzy seniors and other community members alike was a desire for a strong sense of community in general. One Jazzy senior, Miss Sandra Nelson, expressed a desire to get back to a feeling of togetherness.
Like I say, more feel of community where people can get back and sit on the porch and talk to their neighbors and look after their kids. You look after their kids and they look after yours and grandchildren or whatever you have. And just get back to that community feel and not the separation, but the togetherness.
One potential way to promote community engagement is by promoting community events. Another Jazzy senior, Miss Jenny Smith, voiced concern about the lack of advertising and communication when community events are planned.
Just when they're making changes. And if they don't see the outcome, like say, if they don't see if they do something and they don't see if people participate, then apparently it wasn't advertised to the point where people know about these issues or stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So I think advertise. If people know what's going to affect the regular routine and schedule.
Miss Valerie Bullock expressed concerns about how kids don't have any way to interact with the community in their own ways, giving examples of ways she used to interact and participate as a child.
Like we used to have a skating ring. Ooh. They used to go down there to the skating ring. All the guys, some of the girls, they had little groups. You see them in talent shows, getting out there dancing, skating ring. Yeah. But you don't see that anymore. These kids now, they don't have nothing.
It's important to note that these redeveloped parks are an important part to the community and people enjoy using them.
Oh, my neighbor now, he's kind of a go to the park to be walking. He walks. So we walk commonly 2 or 3 times a week. We go around the park and pretty much. Then one neighbor, because I would teach in a fitness class, she was in my fitness class. We went on a walk with, to be kind of doing physical activities with both neighbors.
Community members interviewed at almost all of the 5 ponds discussed the need for better trash control. Some mentioned recreating community cleanups that had been organized in other parks, while some simply wished that there was less litter in the first place. Many had reservations about the city not emptying the trash cans, if there were any there at all. In an interview with a community member at Clarence Fort Freedom Trail, she suggested assigning groups to the parks to keep up with them.
So if you have a group that's like assigned to it, hey, they watching and they picking up, and that keeps the parks and everything up looking good too.
Community members at the 22nd Street Pond wished for a way that the water could be moved around so it would not be brown and stagnant, lacking life.
There's no type of water movement there.
Bubblers or fountains could be added to the water to keep it moving and to restore it to a healthier state and color. Some Jazzy seniors worried about traffic safety around the ponds.
I would like to see the traffic moderated better, that it won't be so people driving up and down so fast. Need more bumps in the road, I think.
Parks like Robert L. Cole Sr. Community Lake, however, are safer places to walk because of the barriers between the road and the park's walking trail. If the park's atmospheres could be made even more safe and tranquil, more people might come. That's explained by these two residents.
Just really got to be careful where you have your kids at. There's nobody making noise. There's no trouble here. And it brings more families here. They can go right there on the little pier and enjoy the water right there.
Yeah, they need more family-oriented stuff in this area. This area here, they really do.
Residents had a lot of great suggestions for the ponds and parks we visited. At 22nd Street, in an unrecorded interview, one community member said,
I think there should be more parking along the side. It would be nice to have a place to stop and buy things. A park would be good too. They could move the fence in since there's so much space inside.
Another community member at Robert L. Cole Sr. Community Lake gave examples of events he would like to see at the park in his unrecorded interview.
They don't have events here like they do the other ponds. Reagan Park has job fairs, but I have to get all the way over there to do those things. Events here would be nice, like an Easter egg hunt.
At Robert L. Cole Sr. Community Lake, another community member mentioned a desire for showers at the ponds or a place to get water in his unrecorded interview.
We could use some showers here so folks could clean up.
The Jazzy seniors are hopeful and excited for new developments near the Herbert D. Carrington Community Lake. Their wish list includes a new senior center separate from the childcare center to enhance community connectedness while protecting their health. Community members mentioned a few improvements to the already redeveloped ponds, such as fixing drinking fountains and water features. There have also been problems with broken outlets, broken lights, and stray debris. While the city should be responsible for keeping up the space, Jazzy seniors discussed how they bug them to see results.
That's my name, Bug.
Usually pick up. I haven't had the problem in a long time, but I did have a problem. They didn't pick up, and I got on the phone and called. They sent somebody out the next day.
One of the most popular parts of the redeveloped ponds is the wildlife. Community members often mention the wildlife, especially the ducks. One resident even gave an unrecorded story about how he nursed a baby duck he found in the pond back to health. He comes to visit this duck regularly. At the Stormwater Pond on 22nd Street sits a community garden run by Healthy 22nd Street. One community member was especially enthusiastic about this garden in her unrecorded interview. She expressed a desire for more community gardens and bigger ones at that in more parks. At the redeveloped ponds, when asked what they enjoyed most about the parks, most residents gave the same answer. It's peaceful. No matter how much they felt litter around the park to be a problem, safety, or lack of community engagement, most people agreed on the peace the parks bring. Bringing the sense of peace to the undeveloped stormwater ponds could be a great first step towards building a sense of community around them. It's important to note that redeveloping these green spaces may lead to rising property taxes and home prices. A community member who completed an unrecorded interview at Bay Street Pond described people not being able to afford to stay in the communities they've grown up in due to rising home prices. This displacement is essential to keep in mind when working on these projects, and conversations must be taken up with the city government in order to protect long-term residents. Though unrecorded, Daryl Warren's statement about his brother Mark's food booth at 22nd Street Pond nicely sums up the value of redeveloping these green spaces. On the weekends, people stop at the pond to pick up some food, usually driving off after to enjoy their food elsewhere because there's no seating at the 22nd Street Pond. Mr. Daryl explained,
My brother brings people here with his food, but when people come on down for holiday, they're going to take the long way around to go to that other park. If this park was nice like the one over there, it would be the destination, not where they stop on the way.
Overall, the East Tampa stormwater ponds have incredible potential to provide health, pleasure, peace, and togetherness to their communities. With the proper improvements and the right amount of care, These areas could go from merely places that hold water to beautiful, welcoming parts of the East Tampa neighborhood.